Now when resealing a metal to metal interface like this, you always have to pay real close attention to places where three pieces meet. For example, see right there? There's the cylinder head, the cylinder block, and the timing cover. And then up here we have the cylinder head, the valve cover, and the timing cover. So those places, and also down here where the oil pan is, we have the oil pan, the cylinder block, and the timing cover. Now there's actually a TSB on oil leaks, and as you can see on the disassembly, the timing cover had oil coming down here and there on both sides, so even the factory sealing job wasn't good enough to prevent oil leaks coming out of here and just migrating down the cover, down the side of the engine, making a mess. So the procedure here will be to clean off all the mating surfaces. Now I'm not going to use a scraper. This is soft aluminum, no whizzer wheels or anything. Just a paper towel, clean it off, and then from there we'll clean the timing cover off also, all those mating surfaces, and we'll apply the compound to the cover and to these areas where three pieces meet, like here at the corners up there, and hopefully we'll have like one chance to do this. Just set it and it should seal. Now, two other things that you should keep in mind: there's also a seal around the water pump. There's an O-ring right here. Now I got a new one, and this one still feels pliable. I guess we could reuse it, but I do have a new one, so might as well just pop the old one out and put the new one on. And also the main crank seal, we'll take a look at that inside the timing cover. We might as well just change that out too. So I got the water pump O-ring off. Here's the old one. Now, let's see if we can focus in on this. Even though it's not cracked, it's still mostly pliable, but you can see it's taken up like almost like a square shape from being compressed and heated and going through all the heat cycles, and you push it and it kind of doesn't want to return to its original shape. The new one, super pliable, it's round, nice. So we're going to pop this on for sure. Might as well just do it right now. See, I don't want to blow too much because then grit will get into the timing cover area, and might as well just keep it on the outside. So this O-ring goes right over the pump, and then push it down in the groove. There you go. And they say lube it up with engine oil to facilitate the timing cover going on there, so you just do that right now so you don't have to worry about it later. We have some engine oil handy right on the casing. There you go. That's the water pump O-ring installed. So when you're cleaning the mating surface of the block here, make sure to try to get all of this old RTV sealant off. It comes off pretty easy, kind of in a string, but if it breaks off inside the engine and then goes wherever, it's not the end of the world, but it's just nicer to take it off right now and just not worry about it later. Alright, it's looking good. Just keep wiping, cleaning that surface all the way down. So that's it for the block here. Now we'll move on to our timing cover. Get that all cleaned up. So we got the valve cover all fairly clean, you know, got most of the grime off of there. I don't have a parts washer, so the blue shop towels and WD-40 works just fine. Now we're going to replace this oil seal. So I just have the cover on a couple boards. We're going to drive it out with a brass punch. You just have to be careful not to touch the surface of the timing cover. Actually, it took a couple whacks. I already got it started, but here it is. And the new one, it's the exact same part number, same brand, NOK, you know, OEM part here. So we want to drive it in from the front side. So first let's take some paper towels, clean everything up, lube this thing with oil, and then drive it in with a flat board. Alright, so now I got the cover laying on his backside. Got some paper towels and the same two boards. And this hole is cleaned out. We'll take our new seal, squirt a little oil on there, just motor oil. That's what it lives in, that's what it likes. So just around the perimeter. And it'll be a press fit right into the bore here. And we want to drive it in nice and even. So what I'm going to do is put this block of wood over it. You know, it covers the whole seal. And this will automatically ensure that the seal is flush with the front of the cover. And then it goes in nice and even. Just kind of tap it around. Alright, almost there. A couple more taps. You'll hear the sound change when it's all the way in. Beauty. Nice and flush. A couple more taps for good luck here. Alright. Excellent. So first, let's take care of those junctions like our TSB told us on the resealing procedure. So basically, get the old RTV out of there and just blow them out. Make sure there's no debris in those junctions. No oil. We want the RTV to seal to a clean metal surface. So there are actually 4 places here. 2, let's see, 1, 2 for each head. So that's 4, and then 5, 6 down by the oil pan. Then I'm going to use a little piece of plastic to get some RTV on there and just push it right inside that little groove. Now I have several types of RTV. This is 3 bond. You can see it's been well used, and we'll use Permatex Ultra Gray also. But just you know, spread a little bit on our applicator. You don't want to glop it on, but and then just push it in right into those areas. Nice and flush. And the cover will have some RTV on there too, but this is kind of a preventative measure to seal up those cracks. Do the same on on this side here. Okay, also in the middle. The applicator helps push the RTV into that notch, and hopefully it'll do the job. So you get the point there, and next we'll put the RTV on the cover itself. Alright, now it's time to apply the RTV to the cover. Now again, just final wipe down here of the mating surfaces. So our RTV is going to go all the way around the perimeter, starting from the top, here, down where the oil pan meets, and then all the way up this side, and also this center piece. And also don't forget 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes where those center bolts go through. Now usually you wouldn't think to RTV these, but I saw a video on the South Main Auto channel where Eric, he's a perfectionist, and he said he had nightmares where he forgot to RTV these center holes, and an oil leak develops, and he just tore the whole thing apart and did it the right way, so props to him for doing that. But let's get it started. So keep doing that all the way around, and then we'll pop it on. I almost forgot what I just warned you about, sealing those middle holes in there. Just a little bit on the surface there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys. Okay. It doesn't matter if some of it gets in the hole, the screw will just go right through that, no problem. Alright, now we're ready for installation. So, gotta be quick and efficient. Got our screws ready. Alright, here we go. So if we remember, kind of came out. Gonna tuck it under the thermostat housing here. And then there are 2 dowel pins. So make sure those line up. And this guy should theoretically just kind of pop right on there. say give it a couple taps with the hammer. Okay. Alright. Looking good. Let's get our air tool on there before everything dries. Start putting in our bolts. Now let's see, let's start with this guy here. That's one, two, and we'll torque these down later, of course. 3, 4. Last one that we forgot about last time. 5. Okay, now let's go around the perimeter. This guy here. Basically, you want to pull it down with a few bolts around the perimeter, and then we can take our time with the other ones. Now, let's see, keep going here. Put a couple of these ones at the top. Having air tools for this is quite helpful to speed up the process. Alright. So you get the idea. Get your shot back when we're ready to torque them down. So now just going through torquing all the bolts down. Already got all the middle ones down. Let's do the perimeter. And they're already, just snug them up. These are small bolts that are just so the thing seals up. They're not going to come out. Last thing you want to do is strip out an aluminum thread and have to do the job over again. Only takes a few seconds. Don't forget the ones in the middle. Okay. Well, next we'll do the bolts down there on the oil pan, and we should be in good shape. Now let's put the crank pulley back on. First we want to make sure there isn't anything preventing the seal, because this is just metal on metal. You tighten the bolt down, it basically seals off the end of the crankshaft, so you can't have any debris in there. But let's slide her in. Watch out for that key. Actually, sometimes it wants to fall out, which isn't good. But if you get it right, it should slide right on there. And it won't turn. We'll put our bolt back in. And to tighten this guy, the specification is 110 foot-pounds. I'm actually going to put the truck in gear and lock the the drive wheels, and then we'll just torque it down with a torque wrench. Now on an automatic, you would have to find a way to hold the engine stationary while you turn the bolt. So if you have an automatic, then well, several ways you can do that. You can get the special tool to hold it. You can get to the flywheel, put a pry bar in there, but that requires taking the starter out usually. You can put a breaker bar in here and just tap it with a hammer. Usually that will get it tight enough, but in this case I'm going to take advantage of the manual transmission and we'll do it that way. Now, just to make you guys feel at ease, this method, why it's safe, you're only applying 110 foot-pounds on the crankshaft here in the normal direction of rotation. The engine's rated at 170 foot-pounds, so everything, the transmission, the driveline, can obviously safely withstand this torque. Now I do have it in 4th gear because if it was in 1st gear, then the wheels would spin easier. But we want the handbrake to hold, You can hear the drive line loading up. There you go. That's it. Perfect. Next step is to get these valve covers buttoned back up. And again, to make sure they don't leak, they have a rubber gasket. But right at these junctions, we'll put a little RTV on there. And also here on this cam end cap, same on the other side, and just screw it back down. Alright, so we'll do one at a time. So that one is got the RTV on there. Let's give it a little tap. There it is. Right back down. Now I'll take our little nuts, screw them right back down. And keep in mind those little rubber gaskets there, they're pretty dry, and I didn't get a new set of seals, so it might not be a bad idea to RTV those too. But at this point, it's just pretty straightforward, screwing it back down.